Rock and Roll Wrestling Show with your host, me, Chris Levi13. Now let me put my guitar down, people, and let's get straight to the business in the wrestling and music world. Let me put my seat up so I can sit down and we can get down to business, people. Let's start it off with Raw having its start off with the wrestling. So Raw had its 101 show. AJ having her first night as being GM of Raw. I give it a 7 out of 10. She did alright and it's like this. And I think her best announcement of the night was Punk versus Big Show versus Cena for SummerSlam. I don't see Punk losing the title, but if he does, I'll be happy. Whoever wins. Either way. You know? In other news, you had a lot of promos. Space given up to Triple H versus Brock Lesnar. I feel like Triple H should just demolish Brock Lesnar and beat his ass. And another thing, and some of that time given up, they should have put a Divas match on the show. Then you had Heath Slater come out there and saying, I want to face any current WWE superstar. Well, he's been facing the legends. So my brother from another mother, Trey Kemp, was like, I know who it is. And I was like, who? He wouldn't tell me. And then when he came out, Randy Orton came out. And I was like, whoa, the Legend Killer came out. And he just looked so ripped, as he always does. And came out there and showed why he's the Legend Killer. Came out there, beat him up, then did the RKO, and left the ring. Classic Randy Orton, people. And then you still have the feud between Jericho and Ziggler going on, which I see Ziggler versus Jericho becoming another match added to the card for SummerSlam. Now on to Smackdown. You had announced on Smackdown by Vince McMahon the new GM, which is...
Can you dig it,
sucker? Yes! Everybody, it is Booker T! Mr. five-time WCW champion. He is a WCW champion, WWE, WWF, and TNA champion. He's been known worldwide. So I think as GM, he will be a great addition compared to Teddy Long, who was tag team match this, tag team match that. You know? And since he's leaving commentary and going to GM, I've been saying that they might put a former commentator for SmackDown back on there. A man who was big during the era right after The Rock and all that. JBL! Which if JBL comes out, I will like that a lot. Because JBL is a good commentator. And a good person. I like him. You know. Now, on from WWE to TNA. You got the Bound for the Glory series going. With James Storm first. Samoa Joe second. Kurt Angle third. Fourth, Mr. Anderson! And fifth, Jeff Hardy and RVD. Tied. I think the series is going, but still, as my prediction is going, James Storm will win and become TNA World Heavyweight Champion at Bound for the Glory. No matter if it's against Austin Aries, Bobby Roode, or somebody else. Now, to two of my favorite wrestlers. They got married a few months ago on the show. Everybody knows Eric Young and ODB, and they got showed a little bit after. But where have they been? They're knockout tag team champions. Then they haven't been shown on the show once, hardly, in a couple weeks. So I'm like, they're two of my favorites. One of my favorite knockouts, one of my favorite wrestlers. Where are they? They should be defending their title. But I guess TNA doesn't care for that title. And then you got Bobby, and then another thing, got HSA, with Bobby Roode saying James Storm is the leader. I don't believe so, at all. As my brother from another mother said, along with him, I think it's James Storm, because James Storm is probably having a problem with Hulk Hogan running his show, and then with the help of Sting and Dixie Carter allowing all that going on. So I think James Storm has come up with a ruse to come in there and beat up some of the top wrestlers, injure Hulk Hogan, and then sometime, eventually, hopefully show their face, unless they're scaredy cats. And on to a little news about indie wrestling. I think Jay Lethal is the best wrestler that has not won a World Championship title. Yeah. That's been my wrestling news. Now I gotta move on to my music news. One of my favorite shows about classic rock mainly from the 70s, 80s, and early 90s, classic rock and metal. That metal show is returning. I love that show. If you like music from the 70s, 80s, even some 60s, even some newer stuff, they show a whole bunch of different stuff on there. And they especially they've had Chris Jericho, they've had Black Sabbath, they've had, what's his name? Zach, wow, a whole bunch of different artists on there, and it's a great, great show. Somebody want me to talk about Slash? Someone talk about Slash. I think he is one of the greatest modern rock guitarists. That is my opinion, because he has such a clean sound in his playing. Playing next, Green Day released a song from their Uno. Yes, I've talked about it in another episode. Uno. And the song is called Let Yourself Go. I listened to this song at first, I didn't really pick it up, but then when I started taking this Green Day, I was like, oh man, that's just classic Green Day. Let Yourself Go is a classic Green Day song that you should go check out. And when Uno, Dos, Tres come out, the 3 different albums, buy them, because that's it. Because it looks like they're going to be new material for you people from Green Day. Now I got to get on to a cover I saw. I was on the internet looking, and I saw a cover by a band called Glass Light Anthem. A rock band, alternative, I think. They did a cover of House of the Rising Sun done by the Animals. I think their cover is awesome! And even me, I covered that song on my first professional gig, I think about a year or 2 ago. My dad's band allowed me to get on stage with them and play House of the Rising Sun in front of friends and family. And I mean, when I did that, I had the jitters. I was nervous as hell. But when I did that song and people liked it, the reaction I got, man, it just made me go like, music is something I want to do for the rest of my life, along with my wrestling I'm doing too. Okay, now it's time for the fans question segment, people. And as my questions come, I gotta look over on my sheet. First question is from Trey Cam 12. Does TNA need to go 3 hours to compete with WWE? I think the answer is no, because WWE is its own. TNA is its own show. Should be original and not copy anything from WWE. Because as we've seen, WCW tried that, and when it was WWF beat them, and then it bought them, and then it became WWE as we know it today. Next question is, since they haven't had any time for divas in the last 3 hour shows, are they irrelevant? And are they just spaced on the roster? I think they are in WWE. Divas, women wrestlers, they're coming irrelevant because they never really get the time. They never really get shown. I mean, when it was women's championship, they got shown with Trish Stratus, Mickie James, Victoria, Beth Phoenix, Lita, Michelle McCool, and a whole bunch of other women, man, fighting over the title, man. It was great back then. But now, since it came to Divas Town, and since Layla returned and got the title, it's been not really shown. Next question is, why is Alberto Del Rio always getting championship shots? I don't know. But if he loses, if he gets a match against Sheamus and loses for the title, I'm going to dislike it a lot. Because I'm going to laugh at him and be like, dude, move on to something else. Build yourself up and then go for a title again. You know? Because he just keeps losing. Or just keep putting people on the arm break or whatever he does. And on WWE.com I saw is Rock versus Punk meant to be. I think yes, I'd love to see Rock versus Punk at Royal Rumble next year. And then somebody asked me if I could choose any wrestler or tag team to meet, and then one band. Everybody knows it. It'd be Motor City Machine Gun for the wrestling, and for music and for the band, it'd be Foo Fighters because those are my idols, and I hope to be like them as great as them one day. You know. And this has been episode 5 of the Rock and Roll Wrestling Show. It's been getting better and better every episode for you people. So all I gotta say is keep a rocking and a rolling, and subscribe to my page, Trey Cam's page, and look me up on Skype and Twitter and Facebook and YouTube as Chris Levi 13. Until next time, this has been your host of the Rock and Roll Show, Chris Levi 13. Keep a rocking and a rolling.